Hello folks, so doing a little bit more Diablo 2 stuff here. Next up on the list of things I'd kind of like to go over for the Zodathon is a Poisonmancer. So now, this would probably be what I would choose to run. Just overall, for what the tournament is kind of doing, this is where I would want to be. A Poisonmancer can run, player 7 with plenty of magic find rather comfortably. And honestly, there's also just the fact that, like a kid who grows up with a warped sense of the world, would feel like wealth when they got old meant having a $35,000 pen. I feel like the Poisonmancer is the pinnacle of Diablo 2 opulence, because I started playing a long time ago where this was like, oh my god. So, again, on the right, you'll see a list of what I kind of view as the optimal gear setup. Again, I'm a little shy of that, but so it goes. So, Harlequin Crest, got a perfect topaz in there. Pretty straightforward, just more magic. Find. Also, just magic. Look, this thing, you don't notice it when you're playing the game, but like, while you're focusing on other things, it does tricks. Seriously, pay attention. If you don't see them, it's because you're focusing too much. Next up, we have Mars Kaleidoscope as the amulet. So there are ways you can mix up the build. If you had an amazing crafted caster amulet with 2 necromancer skills and 20% faster cast rate, yeah, you can probably warp the build around that, but for most people, this is where you're going to be at. Enigma, pretty much self-explanatory. I mean, it's the bee's knees for a reason, because it was put there. That's the way anatomy works. Anyway, so I'm using Heart of the Oak because, yeah, I kind of messed things up. See, I've started playing 2 different times, right? I started playing, I gave everything away, I started playing again, and I found 2 Deswebs, but I found them both before I gave everything away, so I don't have one at present. So yeah, if I had one, I'd be using it, but Heart of the Oak is very good, so you can use Heart of the Oak and not feel like you're missing out on a ton. But Desweb is much more powerful, and the mana and life after each kill are amazing. Do not discount those abilities. They are great. And you can also throw in Ist in the Desweb, which you cannot do in the Heart of the Oak. 35% Spirit, pretty straightforward. The 2 breakpoints you're looking to hit here, in terms of faster cast rate, are either 75 or 125. So obviously that makes 35% really convenient. So don't leave home without it. Trengwell's Claws, again, big boost in damage, has some more faster cast rate. Arachnid Mesh, +1 skill, more faster cast rate. War Travelers, I mean, again, magic find. For the rings, I've got a Stone of Jordan. This is different than what I have to the right because, again, we're losing out on damage and power from not having Desweb, so I'm running the Stone of Jordan. It also helps with mana, which is a bit of an issue, can be a bit of an issue anyway, but mainly it's the damage. This other ring, it's a rare ring, 10% faster cast rate, some all-res, some more magic find. So the reason I'm using that is I'm at the max faster cast breakpoint for necromancers, 9 frames per second, which is 125 faster cast rate, 40, 35, 20, 20, 10. So I was so close, right? By the time I've got everything put together, I figured I might as well use this ring and get to the next break point. 75 is absolutely fine. Don't feel like you have to go to 125, It seemed like as good of an option as any. The build I have set over to the right, though, does give you, like, and depending on how good your rare ring is in terms, or whatever you put there, is in terms of Magic Find, it gives you up to 90% more Magic Find plus additional damage. On Switch, Call to Arms, you don't certainly have to have a 1.10 beta Call to Arms like I do, but it's more better if you have the option. Thanks again to Giza and Fraz and Nolio for for giving me this, and again Spirit on Switch. The faster cast rate, with the setup I have to the side, you're gonna have like much lower breakpoint on your Switch. Here we still have, yeah, that's 50, 81, so we still have 75% on Switch. You'll be down to probably the 48% breakpoint. Unless you have a 35% on your Switch, right? That should work. 20, 40, 75, yeah. So, just something to keep in mind. Doesn't really matter, you're only casting like once or twice on Switch per run, but if you really want to go crazy and feel like you're optimizing stuff, there you go. So as far as charms go, we're just looking for Magic Find. Geeds, I've got some all-res here because I don't want to die, right? Some more mana. I could probably drop this for something else. I put on some of this, some extra mana gear while I was testing things out, and I could probably drop that, but I don't hate having it. And then just more Magic Find, a little bit more resistance. Ideally you would have resistance prefixed. Small charms of good luck, but I don't, because I'm poor. You should feel sad for me. Going over to the Mercenary. Vampire Gaze, so he's not casting his own Poison Nova off Andarel's visage. Duriel Shell. Both of these I have just Jewels of Fervor in. And an Infinity. This is in a 1.07 Ethereal Thresher. Again, thanks to Anelio for that. And yeah, next up is the Golem. Is an Iron Golem made out of an Insight. So that helps a lot with our mana. That's I mean, clearly that's what it's for, but like, the difference is night and day between having this Golem and not having this Golem. It's enormous, especially when you're using Heart of the Oak instead of Desweb. Now, if you were using Desweb, you could probably get away with not having Insight. I wouldn't really recommend it because there's not really a better option. But if you were really baller and you wanted to be a real badass, okay, you could make an Infinity Golem and put Pride on the Mercenary to get even faster corpses than you do with this setup, which again, which just sets you up to set off Corpse Explosion and blow up the screen, which is a pretty good segue into the skills. So pretty straightforward, right? 20 Poison Nova, 20 Synergies, 20 in Corpse Explosion because you're playing a Necromancer. Curses, we've got lower resist. It's really all we use. You could also use Amp when you're going off with Corpse Explosion. That's actually a bigger, presumably, depending on exact numbers and everything, that should be most of the time a bigger damage increase than just having lower resist, but you also have to factor in how much damage they're taking from Poison Nova and how big of a radius you're getting when you set off your amp, and whether everything is being, just whatever. And Iron Golem, I'm dumping points in Golem Mastery. Make sure you get one in Summon Resist. You want your Golem to be pretty tanky. You don't want it to die unless you do. And yeah. pretty straightforward. Skill-wise, enough for your gear, rest and vitality. You'll have to probably put a few in dexterity if you're using a Heart of the Oak, but yeah, it's not too bad. So as far as play, you're probably mostly familiar with how to play a Poisonmancer, but just in case, pretty straightforward. You put poison on things, you cast lower resistance, you try as much as possible to get like a pack, you want a group of things, and then blow it up. As soon as something dies, not going to worry about that, there's no elites, no uniques or anything there. Watch archers, by the way. Archers are bad news. They are frightening. You can tell from my voice that I'm scared. But like, legitimately, when you're amped especially, watch out for archers. It can be the death of you. Pretty much everything else you can kind of deal with your two tanks and teleport. Archers can sneak up on you. I think that's the elites. Yeah, elites. Slipping into Diablo 3 speech. Sorry, folks. Just although I suppose it's a reasonable enough nomenclature. I'm pretty sure you can piece together what I'm trying to say there. So yeah, just lather, rinse, repeat as often as you want to go. And yeah, I guess I didn't show that, but we are on player 7. I've been the whole time. I've been doing practice runs, so I've had it set there for a while. So I kind of forgot. My apologies. Didn't do a great job of getting up a group there, which really is important if you want to maximize how quickly you can run. Speaking of which, forgot to start that thing. Yeah, that thing. You know that thing you do with Tom Hanks, that movie? No. The run counter. There we go. Yeah, see now the true power of the bow rogue. Yeah, bow rogue. There we go. It's like Balrog, but it's completely and totally different and not in any way remotely similar. So, I guess I'll do a couple of more runs just to give you an idea of sort of the run times I'm looking at here. Note that this is far from a perfect pit map. This is, in fact, just the pit map I got when I went back to use a respec from normal. So it's not ideal. Although to be fair, I haven't actually done a full set of tests and figured out just how bad it is, but I'm pretty sure it's bad okay. Probably you want something a little bit better if you're actually looking to do this routinely. Come on, everybody, this way. It can be like really annoying dealing with these Delkin because they run away like crazy. Pretty annoying to deal with, which is, I'm certain, news to all of you. Literally nobody knew that until I told you. So yeah, just keep in mind, like if you are going with the Golem here, which again I do suggest you do. Like there's only so many points you really need for the build. You're going to end up with some extra. Do kind of keep an eye on it, because it can start taking a little bit of extra damage and especially around, you know, when amped and around things with fanaticism, might, that kind of thing. Just stay on top of that. Also stay on top of your own life. Probably not things hardcore players needed to know, but you know, it's important to be reminded from time to time. Call your mom, that kind of thing. Bad joke, almost got me killed. Would do again. 8 of 8, rate it great, mate. That kind of thing. Alright. And probably just like 1 or 2 more. Eesh. And use a bunch of rejuves there all of a sudden. And that is something to keep in mind when running like the pits. You can go like a number of runs in a row where you're like never challenged, there's no problems whatsoever, and then in one run you have to like down your entire belt worth of worth of potions just about. So try not to fall into complacency just because you've had a few runs with no real issues. There are some spawns that even for a really well put together character can be hard. Very tough. And don't be afraid to be afraid. Don't be afraid if especially if like over here there's a pack, or well, you know, just in a position like that, sort of a pack of entrenched archers. Just abandon them. Don't worry about it. Don't go in there and get yourself killed. Just that's a drop you weren't gonna get. You were gonna drop a green blessed braid anyway. You know, just give it the sour grapes, man. You'll be fine. Don't freak out. Missing 1 kill, well, I mean 1 pack kill, every now and again is fine. It's not going to be a problem. Just use your head. Don't be like Dilbert and use your head for support beam removal. That's a bad idea. Wow, that's judges from like the 90s, man. Come on. You for real? Probably let this one go as well. This is another problem with archers. They're like delicate in as far as they'll run away. They're not quite as bad. They'll stand in a little bit more consistently, but still, it's can be really annoying. Actually, a boss there. And likewise, don't be too terribly concerned about just noping out of the run if things get kind of rough on you. Yeah, completely missed a shrine. Oh well. So yeah, I think that about covers everything. Quick look in case there's anything I forgot. Whatever the switch, whatever the mercenary, whatever the golem, the skills, the stats should be pretty straightforward. Well, should be pretty much explained anyway. So yeah, I think we're gonna have this be the last run. This is the urn, boys. This is the urn. Hopefully that means there's a, you know, I don't know, Zod rune? No, something useful, like a raw rune. There we go. Materials or, ooh, Desweb. That would be nice. That would be poetic, in fact. Well, enamine is basically the same as those things. So yeah, thanks for watching, folks. I hope that was helpful, useful, all that. If not, maybe it was at least entertaining. Thanks for watching either way, and I hope to see you next time.